Thank you very much. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. My dear friends, we are in this place in America today not because of the mayor of Houston, Texas. It is not because of what she did. It is because of what so many people in our churches have failed to do. They have not prayed. They have not become informed. They have not been willing to even so much as register to vote, much less go and vote. And the reason that America is in the desperate shape that it is in today is because a lot of people thought it was okay to render unto God that which is God's, but they failed to render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. And in this country, that means we have not just the right to vote, but if we love God, we have a responsibility to vote and to be the salt and the light for our nation. And we have failed. There are 80 million self-proclaimed evangelicals in America. That doesn't include all the other people who love God. Those are just folks that get a little excited about it. The ones that won't miss heaven, but they may run past it and have to turn around and come back. They're so revved up. 80 million evangelicals. Of the 80 million evangelicals, only half of them are even registered to vote. Of the half that are registered to vote, only half of them voted in the presidential election. And of those, only half of them will vote in an off-year election. And we wonder why it is that we're seeing the kind of things we're seeing in cities like Houston, Texas, or Fayetteville, Arkansas. I'll tell you why. It's because a lot of people in our churches have said, I just don't want to get involved. Well, my dear friend, when the government comes to your pastor and says, cough up all of the sermons, sermon notes, and the correspondence that the pastor has had with his own parishioners, you are already involved. When they come to your church and they begin to approve or disapprove what is said from your pulpit, my dear friend, you are involved. When 55 million babies in this nation have been murdered in their mother's womb since 1973, that would have been a workforce, a prayer force, you already are involved. And we cannot blame the people who don't love God. We'd better look inwardly and say it's because we've told our people that they could effectively be wonderful Christians just going to church and reading their Bibles and praying, and voting wasn't that important. Now we are beginning to reap what we have sown, and it is time we plant some new seeds of citizenship in the ground of the United States of America and become involved, be the salt, and be the light. This nation cannot be solved, its problems, and it cannot be saved because we just elect different people to public office. Because the basic nature of the problems of America are not political, they're spiritual. And some people think that if we just get the right people elected, we will have spiritual revival. May I suggest that it's the other way around. If we have spiritual revival, the right people will get elected and the right things will be done. Let me ask tonight, why really are we here? My guess is that for each of us there is a burning cause within us, and it's not just because we think these 5 pastors are great guys. Oh, we do. Fine fellows and ladies they are all. But you know why we're really here? Because there are certain people in our lives that we would die for. I've got 4 grandchildren. I would literally give my life for those 4 kids. Wouldn't you? Your kids, your grandkids. Now, I know normally we're told at a moment like this, please put your phones away. I want to ask you to get yours out for a moment. Get out your smartphone. I need to do it quickly. And I want you to find a photo of your kids or your grandkids, somebody that in all seriousness you would lay down your life for. Might be your husband, your wife. Husbands, do not say you would lay down your wife's life for yourself. This is not what I'm asking. My guess is you have a photo on your phone of someone for whom you would lay down your life. I've got a picture of my 4 grandkids right here. Now take your phone, hold it up high. I want everyone in the room tonight to hold it up really high. Everywhere in this room tonight, hold it up. I want you to look around as everybody's phone is held up high with photos. You can show them to your neighbor later, but right now, hold them up high. Look around this room. Folks, it looks like a Leonard Skinner concert with people calling for Freebird. Now, I want you to ask you something. If you would die for the image on that screen, could you not at least vote so that they would not live in America where they would be told that they could not pray and preach and worship and believe as their conscience would tell them to do? Do we not understand that not just the First Amendment, but all of the Bill of Rights did one thing? I think sometimes we must have all failed 9th grade civics, because in the Bill of Rights, all of the 10 amendments that we call the Bill of Rights did one thing. It never, ever, ever told you as a citizen what you cannot do. Every one of the Bill of Rights tells the government what it can't do. And it tells the government it cannot encroach upon what your pastor says, or what you believe, or how you pray, or the manner in which you worship. And it is time that we as a country stand and pledge ourselves that we will not be intimidated and we will not fold under the pressure, because we recognize that there has been blood shed by people in uniform throughout 240 years of this great country's history. They did not die for us to shut up. They died so that we would be able to stand up. And tonight, we must stand up. Now, with your phone still out, I want you to look at the number on the screen and text the word pledge to that number. Do it right now. Now, you're not having to pledge money, by the way, so calm down, Baptist. All you're pledging is that you will pledge to take a stand to the number 202-760-2856. And when you get to that number, just text in the word pledge. You will get a response immediately back, and then it will ask you whether you will stand and whether you will vote. And here's my prayer and my admonition to you. If you love this country, and I believe you do, if you love God, and I believe you do, and if you love your family, and I believe you do, then love them enough to vote, to stand, to speak, and change this country, and make us once again proudly and unapologetically one nation under God. God bless you.